Warner Bros. Discovery have been struggling to find Walter Hamada's replacement, but in a strange turn of events, two people have been hired to take over the DC universe, and it has the DC fandom extremely divided. Hey everyone, welcome back to our movie news. Today we have a huge video that will change the DCEU forever. James Gunn and Peter Safran have officially been hired to co-manage DC Studios. This has just come out and we have to talk about it. So let's break down the Hollywood Reporter article. In a stunning turn of events, filmmaker James Gunn and producer Peter Safran have been tapped to lead DC's film, TV, and animation efforts as co-chairs and co-CEOs of DC Studios, a newly formed division at Warner Bros. That will replace DC Films. Gunn will focus on the creative side, while Safran will focus on the business and production side of things. Both are expected to continue to direct and produce projects respectively. They will report directly to Zaslav and work closely with Warner's film bosses DeLuca and Pamela Abdi. Sources say the deal runs for 4 years and Gunn will be exclusive to DC. The goal is for them not just to be producers, but to truly function as executives, even as Gunn will occasionally hone a movie. Now, before some of you explode, let's just take a minute to take a deep breath and really think about this announcement. James Gunn, which is the person most are focused on from this news, brought to life some of Marvel's and DC's most unknown heroes to the big and small screen and has done a pretty successful job with them. He is a DC fan and knows how to make small characters very popular. So we can expect to see a lot of smaller characters as well as the bigger characters brought to life from the DC universe. The article includes a statement from David Zaslav himself praising the two new co-chairmen of DC Studios, which I'll let you read in your own time, but I want to focus on what James Gunn and Peter Safran both offer to the company. Well, we all know what James Gunn has done with Marvel and DC. He's made the Guardians of the Galaxy extremely successful for Marvel, and for DC, he has created the Suicide Squad and Peacemaker. Personally, the only one of those I didn't like was Peacemaker, but the DC fandom is a large, diverse fandom, and there were a lot of fans who loved Peacemaker, so the fact it is getting a second season is great for those fans, which is why I think it is important to allow all tones and creatives to be involved at DC, so that every DC fan can be catered for, and it looks like that will be what they are doing. Safran is the lesser known to DC fans, and the article says that Safran was a producer of the $1 billion grossing film Aquaman and its upcoming sequel, as well as Suicide Squad, Peacemaker, and Shazam and its sequel. His relationship with Warner's extends back 10 years and includes the $2 billion Conjuring horror franchise. The Safran company recently re-upped its production deal with Warner's. So a pretty impressive resume from Safran. They both have good relationships with the company, and with Gunn focused on the creative side of things and Safran focused on the business side of things, this could become a very successful duo at DC Studios. We are honoured to be the stewards of these DC characters we've loved since we were children, Gunn and Safran said in a statement. We look forward to collaborating with the most talented writers, directors, and actors in the world to create an integrated, multi-layered universe that still allows for the individual expression of the artists involved. Our commitment to Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, Aquaman, Harley Quinn, and the rest of the DC stable of characters is only equaled by our commitment to the wonder of human possibility these characters represent. We're excited to invigorate the theatrical experience around the world as we tell some of the biggest, most beautiful, and grandest stories ever told. Now, their words there are really promising to me. We look forward to collaborating with the most talented writers, directors, and actors in the world to create an integrated, multi-layered universe that still allows for the individual expression of the artists involved. How great is that to hear? So for any of you who are worried that the DC universe is just going to be filled with James Gunn's humor or anything James Gunn related, listen to their words. We're looking forward to collaborating with the most talented writers, directors, and actors in the world to create an integrated, multi-layered universe that still allows for the individual expression of the artists involved. He won't be micromanaging any DC project. He wants to bring in the most talented directors and allow them to express their art in their way in an integrated, multi-layered universe. He's there to help build the DCEU, to help it feel connected and unified, but still individualistic, to allow creators to express their talent in the best way they can. He knows DC Comics. He's worked with the best in the business. He's learned from Kevin Feige on how to create a successful cinematic universe. But unlike Marvel, this will be a place where every project feels unique, with their own touch and own style, but will still be connected to the overall universe. That means creatives like Zack Snyder, an extremely creative director who has his own unique style, and may I add, is a good friend of James Gunn. So to any Snyderverse fans out there angry at this news, please remember that under the old regime, Zack Snyder was hated and was never going to come back. Under this new regime, he actually has a friend in charge of DC. The chances of Zack Snyder returning to the DCEU are higher than ever now. So please don't think this is bad news. Only time will tell, but we are in far greater hands now than we have ever been. DC has people in charge who actually know DC Comics, who know how to make the most of smaller characters and have great relationships with the best talent in the world. James Gunn won't be pushing his humour into every project, just the projects that he will be directing. He's not there to control every DC property, he's there because he's creative. He's there because he's a DC fan, and he's there because he knows how to make a cinematic universe work and how to make the most of it. If anything, James Gunn being in charge of DC Studios is a really good thing, because he knows as a director how wrong it is for a studio to step on directors' films. So he knows that he won't do the same. He will ensure that directors get to create the films that they want to create, but he will also make sure that it fits in with their universe's canon and the overall story. It won't just be random films greenlit for the sake of it, like there were under the old regime. DC are creating a 10-year plan, and James Gunn will be there to help organise it, create it, and to ensure they all feel connected. People seem to think that James Gunn being hired means that he will control every project and will inject his style and his humour into every film and show, but that couldn't be further from the truth. He is there to help the DC universe grow, because he is a creative who loves DC and knows how to build a cinematic universe. So for example, when a Superman film happens, just because he is the co-chairman of DC Studios doesn't mean Superman will suddenly be like how Peacemaker is. They literally say in their statement that they will bring in the best directors and the best writers to create a story that feels integrated into the rest of the universe, but still allows those creatives to express their talents through their stories. Just look at the progress. Last year, we had executives who had their egos as the main priority of the DC universe, where random projects were greenlit, where directors and the cast and crew were treated badly, and there was no long-term plan for these DC characters. This year, we have brand new leadership, not just at Warner Bros. Discovery, but also now at DC, where a DC fan has been put in charge of building out the DC universe. The company will listen to the fans, and Henry Cavill's Superman being back is because of that. So much progress has been made just in the past few months, and for us Snyderverse fans, we have someone in charge of DC who is good friends with Zack Snyder. So Zack Snyder returning to the DCEU is more probable now than ever. Yes, you may have not liked James Gunn's DC films, but not every DC film will be like James Gunn's. He wants the best directors to create the best stories they can in an integrated and multi-layered DC universe. So hopefully, to those of you who were angry or worried about this news, have relaxed a bit. It's not as bad as you think. In fact, there is a lot of great news from this and a lot to be excited about. All I ask is to give them a chance, and I really think you will be impressed by what they have to offer. But that is all for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. Please make sure to like and subscribe and turn on post notifications so you never miss a video. I hope to see you here again soon, so until then, have a great day. Bye!